First story of the day is about the yellow vests. Everybody knows, I've been talking about it a lot here. They started in Paris to basically revolt against Macron. They have high taxes, they have carbon taxes, they have migration pact, the UN migration pact, a lot of things that are very unfavorable in France. So it's a worldwide movement now. It's spreading to Belgium. There were over 1,000 people, Reuters reported. It spread to Canada, and it spread to the Netherlands as well. But I want to talk specifically about Canada and Belgium today because they seem to be on the same page with why they're becoming yellow vests, per se. And it is the UN Migration Pact, which, thank God, we got Donald Trump. Hillary Clinton would have signed that. Bernie Sanders would have signed that. It's an absolute mess from world leaders that think they're some sort of authoritarian, communist, global leaders of the world. They think they could tell everybody else what to do and hate on the people of our country. It's disgusting. But Belgium and Canada, I guess, have signed or are planning to sign the UN Migration Pact. And it's very unpopular, and it's rightfully unpopular in my perspective and in others' perspectives. I'm all good to debate about it, but what I can't stand what the media does, they say you're racist, you're sexist, you're xenophobic if you oppose it, and you're a great person. You're the best person in the world if you support it. It's not true. I'm going to start with this very simple and true statement that anybody on the left and anybody on the right should be able to understand. I don't understand why 95% of the media and 100% of the tech companies, I don't understand why they treat patriotic citizens of Canada, Belgium, and America like dirt, like crap, and they treat illegal immigrants like celebrities. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with illegal immigrants. That's a whole nother discussion. I'm not saying there's not an argument to be had for the UN Migration Pact or for illegal immigration. There is. There's an open debate for everything. But what I will never understand and why people are yellow vests now in Belgium and Canada is because citizens of this country, I'm not talking about just white Americans. I'm talking about Latino Americans, Hispanic Americans, Black Americans, Indian Americans, Hindu Americans, Sikh Americans, different religions, different cultures. Millions of people, we have 300 million people here who immigrated legally, most of the people, and some illegally, but you're treating people who love America, who love Canada, and who love Belgium, and who love France like crap, like dirt. Like, if you love your country, you're like, I love the First and Second Amendment. I'm proud of the freedoms that we have, that the whole rest of the world is jealous of. They treat you like a racist, sexist, xenophobe, no matter what race, religion, gender you are. And then if you're an illegal immigrant, no matter who you are, you could have a murder charge, a rape charge, you could be a great person, whatever. You're illegally coming into the country, that's fine. They treat you like gold. I just don't understand why the media thinks this is a good strategy. You could say what you want about illegal immigration. You could say what you want about refugees and the UN Migration Pact. That's fine. There's an argument to be had to support it. But the fact that they're treating patriotic citizens who love their country like crap, tax-paying citizens who are paying for a carbon tax, gas tax, video game tax, soon-to-be text message tax, this tax, that tax, and then you're glorifying these millions of people coming into the country illegally. Of course, like Cenk Uygur would say, of course you're going to have millions of people rebelling like they are in France, Belgium, and Canada because it's an asinine and disgusting and disturbing strategy. But above that, the UN Migration Pact is very unpopular in Brussels and Canada for multiple reasons that they don't want to have a discussion about. And when I say this, I'm not quoting a right-wing news source and I'm not quoting a conspiracy theorist. I'm quoting Reuters. I'm quoting Newsweek. I'm quoting pretty much every mainstream media outlet that has shared this information this year, and I could bring it up if you want me to, but violent crime has spiked in Germany and the UK and Sweden directly because of the incoming refugees. Rape, murder, violent crime, like I said, gun murder, knife crime, like every bad statistic for safety that you wouldn't want in your country is rising in many parts of Europe, and it's directly correlating to the incoming refugees for multiple reasons. I'm not blaming all the people coming in. A lot of them are good people, but a lot of them are actually not. A lot of them are people who don't like Europe, they don't like Canada, they don't like Western civilization, and they have a plan to take it over or to, rebel against Western ideals. I'm not saying everybody is, but a large portion of them are. And why did they get into Canada and why did they get into Europe? It's because mostly liberals, but I'm sure there's some fake right-wingers there too, they don't have this like switch in their mind that says good people, bad people, let's vet them, let's find out who's who, and let's make sure people want to be here. They say every illegal immigrant and every refugee is perfect, and anybody who speaks out against it is racist. So yeah, of course you're going to get a lot of crime and other stuff. And in Belgium and in Canada, you have taxpayers. Taxes are rising, rising, rising. As I've been covering here, they're paying for carbon, they're paying for gas, they're paying for this, they're paying for that. They're paying for healthcare for everybody. It's spread across Canada. Okay. Let's do the math and economics, and we'll move on to the next statement because I've already said this 10 times. What happens when you have millions of people paying into a system, and then you bring in hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people who don't pay into the system, but take out of the system? Let's do the math and economics. Well, the prices go up, the quality goes down, and the taxpayer gets screwed, and the person who's taking out of the system gets, in a state of receiving the money, not paying into it. It's not, regardless of what you think about it, it's not going to be popular among a lot of tax-paying citizens. It's not going to be popular among patriots. So that's why, in many terms, I could go on for hours, but I'm going to end it here. That's why the yellow vests are spreading to Brussels and Canada. One person in Brussels died. There were thousands of people clashing with the police. You got to see the videos. It's getting bigger and bigger in Brussels. It just came to Canada, and I don't think it's going away anytime soon. It's what happens when you suck your citizens and taxpayers dry. You tell them that they're terrible, horrible people for supporting and loving their country, and then you bring in hundreds of thousands of people who don't like the country, who are taking money and raising your taxes, and you're not even allowed to speak about it. I'm not saying that it's right, wrong, this or that, but there's a conversation to be had, and the news and the press wants to close that conversation down. That's how you get yellow vests. You could think I'm crazy or think I'm weird, but everything I'm saying is not going to go away unless they delete like 1 billion people off the planet, because billions of people now feel this way. In South America, Canada, North America, even in Mexico, I get messages from Tijuana all the time. Europe to Africa to even the Middle East. This is the blunt truth that they don't want to tell you about. So